What we all smoking on today? I've actually been smoking on buff berries. I condensed all my weed down and I realized I like I'm out of everything else because it's the only thing I've been growing lately. Awesome. Okay. All right. Well, since this is gonna be recorded, I'm not gonna hang around too long. It's already 3 o'clock. By the end of this though, don't go anywhere because by the end of this, I am gonna do a giveaway. Excuse me. And so stick around because if you're in the crowd, you automatically get entered in. Um, So today there's not going to be a PowerPoint. I didn't go and bother doing any of that. We're just going to discuss some of the rules, where you can find it, what to expect, what was in the box, and, if it's required to use the things we sent, that kind of stuff, and maybe even clue you in on how some of the stuff works, just because I know when I first opened it, like, I didn't realize how cool some of the stuff was until um, I took time to read some things about it. So. Yeah, we'll get right started. Or I'm not even call you GC Gene. Dan, you should be getting your bundle hopefully early this week, so you'll be able to see what everyone has gotten in their grow off bundles. But super excited and grateful for the people who helped put it together. Um, but we'll get into that. First thing we're going to talk about is grow off rules. So everybody should be getting their bundles now, and it's super important that everybody understands that you are not to pop your beans before the start of germination, which is the 15th of August. So this is the hard part. You've got this potential in your hands, and you've got to just keep them cool until it's time. Otherwise, you could be disqualified. Now, we do have a germination period. It's a 2-week period. And what that means is you don't actually have to pop your beans on the 15th. You have until the 29th. Now, if for any reason, if anyone needs an extension on that, since it's no advantage to start late, if they come to me beforehand and they let me know why, on how long, they need, maybe it's just an extra week because they've got a tent they've got to free up, they can come to me and get that approved beforehand. So don't wait to the last minute if you need an extension on that. There really is no advantage to shortening your amount of time to grow. Now, a 20-week grow off, that's actually a lot of time to grow. As somebody who's going to be growing along with everyone, and I plan to pop on the 15th, I do not anticipate taking a full 20 weeks to do my grow. I never have in any of these kind of grow offs that have a freestyle. It's just because with this being a 9-week cultivar, that means that if everybody planned it to be flowering right at the end of submission, you'd have an 11-week veg period, and my tents are just not that big. So, I likely will only have like a maximum of a 6-week veg and then I'll flip. So that's one thing everybody can keep in mind is that you can flip whenever you're comfortable flipping. We do anticipate them running 63 days, about that. The mom plant, who I call affectionately Buffy, she does run 63, 65. What's the earliest you cut her down, Dan?
I'm chopping at day 60, but I'm running 11 hours of light and 13 of dark, so that
Oh,
might
that does help
play a
with
role over the course of 8 weeks.
Okay, yeah, that does, I believe, help with that maturing faster at the end too. Um, or maybe that's just, I don't know. I've never tried it, but I know people who do play with the cycles like that. But I've been consistently chopping about day 63. I think the longest I ever took her was 65, and that was because I had other cultivar that I was trying to let finish. So she definitely does finish early. 9 week is plenty of time for the mom plant, so I can't imagine the S1's going to be too different. If you do finish before the last check-in, you just need to let me know in advance. I don't need to get like, oh my God, I just chopped and I don't have the passphrase. You just screwed yourself out of the competition. There's going to be a final passphrase. You're going to need to get it from me before you chop the plant. The plant has to be on the vine when you're taking your final submission picks. Now we're going to do check-ins every 2 weeks. I will remind people of them when they're coming up, and there will be passphrases that I release right before that check-in period starts. If for some reason you're going to be traveling during a check-in period, that's okay. The whole calendar is in Fluxer. There's actually, I took the time to make a calendar to take, just look at them. And if you already know you're going to be out, contact me and let me know. I can put it in my spreadsheet, and that way I know, hey, this person said they weren't going to be here, but they're going to check in either early or late. And we'll work that out via DM. But we're pretty flexible. The whole idea with these grow offs, and my biggest goal is to see everyone who starts get their way all the way to the end. I My favorite thing that I've ever experienced when doing these, and you can chime in too, Dan, was is growing along with everybody. You did the FX3 Cup. I did the FX3 Cup. A lot of people in this in our competition actually did the FX3 Cup. So um, I'm not trying to be a copycat, but I enjoyed it so much that I definitely am gonna emulate a lot of that. Um, Dan's a very present breeder, so he'll be around, and able to give insights from what he's seen. I'm gonna be around growing along right with you guys. So if you guys ever have any questions or anything that I can help you with, that'll also be really good as well. Um, Okay, I see. Thanks, Z. If you can help me out and just kind of keep an eye on questions, I'll field those and get those towards the end. Um, but as far as the grow off goes, we want to just make sure that anybody can use their however preferred style. So if you like cocoa, if you like DWC, if you like soil or a living bed, it's up to you. It really is completely your style, but we're all just running the same strain to see kind of like who does the best with it. And obviously, Fino's going to play some role in that. So it is always a very smart thing to do is to pop multiple beans. As somebody who's been in these competitions, I'm a whole pack gang when I'm competing. But if you can't do a whole pack, definitely do. I would never put all my chickens in one seed. So, um, that's a weird way to say that, but you know what I mean. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Like, definitely pop more than one if this is something. Because, I mean, there's not a lot. We've got just under 40 participants, which means you guys have a really good chance of shining through on this. So, and we've got really great quality growers too. I'm so excited about the people that I know that have signed up. Um, that we're gonna see some beautiful stuff coming along. Dan, I'm very excited for what we're gonna see over the next coming months.
Yeah, and to kind of chime in on the seed thing, I would definitely encourage popping all of them and just assume that you're going to get unlucky and maybe two of them might be mutants or a herm or whatever. It should be pretty low, but the genetic is bottlenecked and inbred, so there might be some crazy underlying genetics that now are coming forward that were previously not present. So just be aware of that. But it should be pretty low risk because I'm running the berry blues right now and 0 for 8 on herms. They're all running super good, and a lot of them look just like the mom. So I'm really excited to see what people are going to find out of these packs.
Yeah, me too. My goal is actually just to find something that's even better than the mom, and then I can just keep this going forward because I've been keeping Buffy alive as long as I can because I'm obsessed. And for those who didn't see, I will also maybe I'll release again. But if you haven't seen, you can always just DM me or tag me. I got the mother tested for terpenes and cannabinoids, all of them. So if you're interested in what that looked like, just hit me up. She tested very well. A lot higher than I thought she was going to be in THC because she doesn't make me jittery. But when you look at the terpenes, it kind of makes sense why she doesn't. So, yeah, she's just a great smoke. Um, I'll answer questions about the growth, but let's go into real quick what's in the bundles. So, if you'll notice, there are some stakes in there that say BBS1 of various colors. There's six of them. Dan decided to surprise us all and add an extra seed. Originally, it was supposed to be a 5 pack. So if you haven't already noticed, there are actually 6 packs. Um, he did that just because the security in case there is that one weird mutant one. But the reason why we wanted to do the stakes with the different colors is that it kind of helps you identify different phenos. You could be like, oh, I'm eyeing my blue and my green pheno right now because they're both like the most vigorous or whatnot. So that's kind of how I've always kind of kept my plants separate, color coding them. So I thought I'd share that and have fun with that. And that actually, we have Meech and Zquag to thank for that. Meech helped cat it out, and Z went through a lot of effort to get those printed because he was having some printing issues and had some late nights getting it done. And I'm very grateful for that because they came out really slick. Um, the next thing that you're not required to use that. If you don't use it, it's kind of a waste. I mean, because unless you grow BBS1, I don't know. So, Tally, do you hear us? What do you mean are we waiting on people to join? Sorry, I got distracted. Um, so as far as the stakes, I recommend using them. They're not required if they're not in a check-in, it's not like you'll be disqualified. And that's the same thing with the check-in card. If anybody has done a grow off with me, you know how much I love a check-in card. And something I've learned through this process is that the smaller the card, the easier it is to get in your photos. So I'm really really excited to use these. I think they're gonna fit really good into our check-ins. Um, so definitely, again, if you want to use just a plain post-it or a bill envelope that you find, that's on you. It's not required. You won't be disqualified if you don't use the check-in card. I just thought it would be kind of neat because I know I've heard when I've made my own in other past ones that people wish that they had all gotten one. So we did that this one. So hopefully I'll get to see some people using them. I did include some dry erase fine point markers because I know it looks like a small place to write. Um, but those markers are ultra fine tips, so that should help with that. Um, and all the phrases I'm going to be doing aren't going to be too long, so I'll keep that in mind. As far as the last things, you'll see some slaps in there that were loose, but there's also a Ziploc, and in that Ziploc, you might be thinking that it's just more slaps, and they're not. They're re-stickers and sticky notes. So there are three re-stickers. Those are kind of like window clings. You can stick them to your bong. You can stick them to a TV, your fridge, a window, your car, anything that's got that like like that nice surface that clings can stick to. You can remove it, reposition it. You can put it on something else. I personally have taken my three and have stuck them to several things and removed them, repositioned them. They're amazing, and I'm really hopeful that I start to see these being used by more and more like companies, because the saddest thing about a slap is when you stick it to something and if that thing breaks or you lose it, that slap is gone. And so I really love the idea of having these things forever. So um, I believe that's everything that was in the bundles. Um, just to kind of go back over just real quick who helped out with that because I just am super grateful. Um, Dolly did the design on the packaging. She did the design on the re-stickers and the sticky notes. G3 or Girl Grow Grow, she actually made those from Dolly's design. And the three slaps that are in there, C's, he was kind enough to not only design those, but he had them made for everyone. So just give some love to those people because these bundles would not have been possible with everyone who put in the effort. And of course, Dan, throwing in the extra seed to surprise everybody was really freaking cool. And you're the one that had those that dope packaging made. I don't know who you use, but I think the packaging looks wonderful. I'm very, very, very excited about how it came out.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite design so far out of like the releases that I've done this year. That's like by far the coolest packaging. So
I'll have to let Dolly know she's actually out, hanging out with some friends today. So I'll have to let her know because she did a really great job on the design. Um, And I'm very speaking of that design, we actually do have for a limited time a Grow Off t-shirt available on our merch store. So if you're interested, just let me know. You can find a link to the merch store just on our website, which is just stickyfingersociety.com. If you go into the merch tab, it'll take you to our storefront. There's some pretty cool stuff there, and I can't wait. Uh, I think Dan saw me. I sent him a picture of me wearing it, and he copped one too. So they're really they're it's good material shirts, a very soft material shirt, and it's not like one of those crunchy designs. Like I've had shirts from stuff before, and I'm not gonna call anybody out, but where it was like wearing like a cardboard front on your shirt, and this is not like that. So it's definitely good quality. Um, and then, so that just brings me just to questions now. I've gone over rules, I've gone over what's in the box. Uh, I did see a question for you, Dan. So, Z was wondering if you've noticed that an increase in your yield by changing that 11-13. Like if you've seen, what are your noticeable differences changing that life cycle?
It's hard because I've been running 11-13 for so long with so many different genetics, but I just feel like they transition just a little bit quicker. Like when, when you're on 18-6 and then you just hard flip them to 11-13, I feel like they start to throw pistols a couple days sooner. And so I feel
Oh,
like the
okay.
plants just are converting better, and that extra hour of dart saves on my power bill, and it just seems to work good with the plants. Mainly because of how intense the lights are these days. I don't feel like that extra hour is needed. Maybe if I was running like a 100-watt light or something, but I think my plants are getting plenty of light in that 11 hours.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially if you think about like plants outdoors and like days where they're getting like shade at times of the day and stuff like that. So it does make sense that they may not need that full 12 if you've got a lot going at them. He wanted to know. Oh, okay. Never mind. You basically answered that question. Do we have any other
See a
questions?
question about washing numbers, but I'm a flower
Oh.
guy, so I have not actually washed it yet.
And I
Um,
didn't tell you. Well, so because he's mentioning you had that friend. So unfortunately, that friend did not get around to washing, and I'm not going to get into reasons why. But it had nothing to do with the plant. Let's just say that.
yeah, I think it'll wash great, but me personally, like I said, I just grow for the flower, so.
Yeah, I'm actually meeting somebody at a pop-up who only dabs, and I desperately want him to try buff berries, so I'm purposely going to make flower rosin just for him to be able to taste her. Because it is interesting when you find a grummy out there that's just like, nope, no flower for me. And I'm like, but I love flowers so much. Oh,
I
and
think
we'll
it'll
know
wash
numbers
well.
though. Because he's doing a whole pack and he's gonna be washing all six and he actually gets good validated numbers but weighing everything and stuff like that. So um oh, you're doing the same. Wow, okay. Man, I'm gonna need to like make a trip out to you guys because that's gonna be some amazing hash rosin. Like mind blowing, I think, in my opinion. But I am biased. Yes, I will visit Cheeseland someday. So, as far as the rules are concerned, did anybody have any questions about the grow off? Um, I think most of us have done it. I don't think we have any. We have a few people who are new to doing grow offs, but one thing that they're going to realize, it's not a hype, like while we all are competitive, we also all are trying to see everyone cross the finish line. So we're there to help. Um, oh, I can't believe I almost forgot to bring this up. This is important to bring up. So, um, yes, enrollment is technically closed. If you're a US person, I have I have 21 days until we start this thing. If you desperately want in, just reach out to me. I'd have to see if I could work it out with Dan. I think he did. I might have an extra pack that I could send if I had one or two people. Um, I know, I'm sorry. It's just so hard to get it international in time, and although UPS is wonderful, they did really they came through uh for this grow off in a major way. Um, but let me before I forget. So one thing that we're doing that I've never seen done in a grow off before is because we're growing our socials. I would like to get permission from people who are participating that we could use photos from our check-ins for our socials. I want to do episodes on our YouTube showing this grow off as it goes along. So it would feature multiple members. It would never ever say anybody's real name. It would never dox them. But certainly, if that's something that you would not want to have done, I would want you to come to me. And I'll also make an announcement about this. And I'll also come to people and say, hey, for the next episode, we would really like to use your check in photo, or we'd like to use this photo you put in the grow chat. Um, we would, of course, approach you guys, but I think this is a good opportunity for people to get themselves out there and for us to kind of get the cultivar out there and sticky fingers because we're new and we're trying to grow so that way it can be this little self-funding machine so we can have a community that does a lot of events and get-togethers that doesn't because I'm not rich. If I were, I would love to just like fund all this on my own. But I'm not. So uh, that's really the future goal with that. But to help us grow, we would love to be able to use grow off images for our socials. So I will be talking to people about that. But certainly, uh, if that's something that you already know you don't want to be a part of, just hit me in my DMs. I'm never going to put somebody's photo online if they're not comfortable with it. Um, but hopefully that's not going to be a case for a lot of people because we've got some very talented people growing in this competition. Um, all right. Well, we're 22 minutes in. We've got one, two, three. Let me get a wheel up. I'm gonna get a wheel going. Let's give away something. What should we give away? You sent me some stuff, right?
I did, yeah.
Dan, what do you think I
Yeah.
should give away? I have
I think
everything you sent me except for the strawberry frosting S1 who somebody won last week.
let's do the berries and guava. I think that's going to be a really good. I've seen a few people growing it, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. So like that one is on my list to grow next. So
Nice, 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 nice. All right. Getting it out of the thing. Let me put this to the
that one,
side.
the berries and guava will be a good one too because both genetics were pheno hunted by myself, like by me. So usually with breeding, I'll get as my mother's, I'll buy the actual cut of what I want. So like for the Blue Dream, it was the Santa Cruz cut from '03, or like the Animal Tsunami cut was from the breeder. And so the berries and guava was both genetics hunted by me. So excited to see what people find.
All right. So I'm putting everybody in. That even includes staff. You guys, my staff is not paid. So if you get mad at my staff winning, you guys are just like mean because none of us are paid. We're all volunteers and they're here. So I'm putting them in perpetual retrospect. I'm going to read it out and I'll share my screen just in case somebody doesn't see the endo. 3-degree cut. Inspector. Barry, who is a lucky ducky. Watch him win too. It's not. I'm telling you, it's not rigged. You'll see. Mammoth. Crop riser. I believe I got. Okay, let me share my screen and we'll make sure that I got everybody. All right. You guys should see the wheel. Can I get a thumbs up in the crowd or? Yeah, but you also won our. Wait, Barry, you won something. What? Okay. All right. Everybody sees it. So I believe I got everybody. Let me just double check. We got one, two, three, four. No, I don't have Nedco. I missed Nedco. Do I have Raid Boss? I do. Does anybody not see themselves? I wish I could win this. I'm not even joking. I don't even have this yet. Yeah, there's 14 entries. All right. We're going to shuffle. All right. You guys ready? Good luck everyone. Thank you for coming out today. 3, 2, 1. Shut the fuck up. No freaking way. Bro. All right. Fuck. Can't believe that happened. All right. All right. All right. I'm going to throw in a pack of mine for another winner then. Oh, you know what? I know where's Zach. Zach would go nuts. I'm gonna give. We're gonna do one more thing. It's not gonna be for berries and guava, unfortunately. But I've got lots of good stuff, and we'll figure it out. I'll give you an option. But we're gonna spend one more time. Congrats, Barry. You better go play the lottery for real, dude. All right, here we go. Right on. Great boss. Congratulations. Hit me up via DM. And we'll figure out what we're gonna get to. It's gonna be something from. I want to stay on brand with this. So I'm gonna give you something from Grand Champ. Um, but congratulations, guys. Hit me up in DMs. Thanks for showing up. This will be on YouTube in case you came in late. And yeah, you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks, Dan, for showing up and talking
Yeah,
with
no,
us.
thanks for doing this. So
And
I'm
and thanks
excited. It's
for.
gonna be a good time. Good grow off for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm so stoked. All right, guys. Remember, patience don't pop until the 15th. And you guys have a good rest of your day.
Yep, later.
Bye.